Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we take a look at a pretty cool overdrive pedal and check out the pitch shift capabilities of the Headrush gig board. Let's go. Alright, so first off, the Pandemonium Overdrive V3, which we have here. These pedals are pretty decently difficult to get a hold of. The only reason I'm aware of both the names Pandemonium and Reaper pedals is because John Brown of Monuments, my favorite guitar player, had a signature overdrive pedal through these guys, which was a version of the Pandemonium. This version in particular, I don't think has anything to do with John Brown's name, but as far as I'm aware, they're all fairly similar pedals anyway. They're kind of skews on the same thing with more or less features. But that said, this is a super cool pedal, and it's extremely flexible. It has a few features that y'all know I have a whole bunch of overdrives. This has a few features that I haven't encountered before on other overdrives, such as a compression knob, which we'll mess with. So I have all three of my main heads powered on here. We're gonna go through each of them and just dial in a few tones on the Pandemonium, starting with a clean tone on the Rev. And again, y'all are hearing this through my PRS MT15 and my Mission KM212P, both with two mics on them. All right, here we go. Quite cool. As you can hear, you can do a whole bunch with just even a super flat clean tone with this pedal. But all right, let's go ahead and jump over to the KSR Artemis, which is dialed in with pretty much everything at noon, so it's not dialed in. This is just a flat, great high gain tone here. All right, so yeah, I activated it here, but you can also turn on this here second side for a boost, which is controlled by these two controls right here, which is a pre and a post gain. So you can get even more just clean volume out of it by increasing the post, or even more distortion out of it by increasing the pre. I'm noticing that this pedal seems to be kind of bass heavy, even with bass like low, like rather low. You definitely hear a bit of bass response coming from the pedal. So I probably would cut back on even more of the bass out of the Artemis here. But that said, let's go ahead and mess with the Dover DA20, which is typically not a terribly bassy amp in the first place. All right, yeah, there you go. So of course, it's very flexible overdrive. Again, it has a full 3-band EQ plus more, much like the KSR Arrows does. And it's just a nice tool to have in the arsenal that I'm glad to have. Well, yeah, that said, let's go ahead and check out a viewer question and get into the pitch shifting options of the Headrush gig board. Here we go. All right, here we go. Now let's take a look at the drop tune pedal in the Headrush gig board. So drop tune and polyphonic pitch shifting, all that. This is something I don't tend to mess with very much. I guess you could say this is part of my justification of having the 7 or 8 guitars I have, although they're all currently in the same tuning right now. I can just change the tuning of my guitars, but of course not everybody has that luxury. For me, it was always, I remember I did used to mess with this as a younger man before I was able to have all these guitars. I did try some pitch shifting stuff to work with down tuning, but for me it was always weird. I could still hear my guitar being played, and then hearing a different note come out of my speakers was always just totally weird to me. This type of thing is not for me, but I can understand it being for someone else. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. We have a basic setup here going into a Soldano extended range model. And going into my 44 Electro Harmonix 44 Magnum power amp pedal. Nothing else. So I have drop tune on. Well, it's not on, but the pedal is in there, and it's selected to go down 1 semitone right now. Okay, so yeah, it is handling the single note pitch shifting just fine. But of course, the question always becomes, how does it handle multiple notes? So let's just play some simple power chords, see how it does with that. Alright, I'm sold. Kind of impressed. Okay, so, if anything, and it's kind of hard to tell, but if anything is happening here in terms of there being an issue with the drop tune here, I feel like maybe my tone's getting a little darker. But that if this is something that somebody wanted to set up a tone around, I 100% think you can. Polyphonic pitch shifting in this case works beautifully. I just played some of my riffs that have more complex chords in it, and we're using distortion here, and I could hear the notes perfectly. There's not this weird, sometimes in some of the older pitch shifting effects, you get these weird artifacts in the sounds when you were to play chords or something, or even if you just accidentally let more than one tone ring out at once. I'm not getting any of that here. So yes, for someone who is interested in doing the drop tune stuff with a pedal, the gig board is definitely an option, in my opinion. But yeah, hey, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, you guys take care.